So apparently there's a RAM shortage that's out there in the market and is based on these data centers, AI, all of these companies trying to get all this RAM so they can run these data centers so AI could take over the industry, I guess. I don't know what's going on, but nevertheless, it's getting to the point where it's affecting gaming. I think you already seen it with Xbox and what's going on with them, with the prices of everything going up. It is becoming a really big problem. And I feel like at the end of the day, what we're going to have to do is find a way to navigate through all of this. Because for me, I've been through a lot of things. One thing about me, I've been through gaming since like the early 80s, like right after the crash, because I was born during the crash. So like around 86, 87, that's when I started. Yeah, I am that old. And I've been through all the ups and downs of what gaming has transpired since then. And for me to be a collector, I know how to navigate through certain times where prices go up, prices go down. So I'm gonna just give you my thoughts and opinions on how this will affect the industry and what I think that you may want to do as a gamer, because this is what I'm gonna do. So if this is your first time here, welcome. We talk about gaming and everything under that umbrella. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Listen, prices are going to go up in on these consoles. Prices are going to go up on PC parts. This RAM shortage is starting to become a real issue because everywhere you go, you hear about a data center being built. AI is supposed to be taking over. All this other stuff is supposed to be going on, and you see here be like, "All right, what in the world? Why do we need all this stuff?" Well, basically, the industry is trying to race to the top when it comes to AI and the arms race of being number one in the world in AI, and it is starting to be a detriment to the development of games, development of consoles, development of GPUs, whatever the case may be. This is probably one of the reasons, as well as the pandemic that happened a few years back, is one of the reasons why you see a lot of games are kind of stagnant. There's not that much growth as far as uh the the I would say the development of games. You don't see anything that's really moving up the ladder where games are looking like they're getting better. You do have some games that look phenomenal. I mean, I just got finished playing a little bit of Ghost of Tsushima. That game looks beautiful. I just did a live stream of a game from 2022 called Beyond Infinite, and that game is I'm sorry, Bright Memory Infinite. I'm sorry, and that game is actually pretty solid. It looks really good, but these are games that are still just not where we think the industry needs to be. It's a lot of setback when it comes to games and quality. And with this RAM situation, we're probably looking at the same situation unless, people just decide to pay more for what's out there. And I think and to an extent that probably is going to be the case. But for me, I've already got myself kind of, shielded from whatever this is going to happen with the pricing, because one thing about me, I like to collect games. I like to keep certain games. Well, probably more than not if you see behind me. But I like to keep a lot of stuff because I always want to have something to play. And I'm always going out searching for the next game that I want to play. And then for me, that's been very beneficial. And even when I do want to build a new PC, and I'm gonna get to that in a second, I'm not really in a rush to do so, because the one thing about me, I love playing on my consoles. I love playing with the games on my consoles. And even though it may make it seem like I'm a peasant or whatever, it's just satisfying to come home and come up here and just play a game and not have to worry about too much. Now, with my PC, I have a solid PC and I do play on that as well. And I don't have an issue with playing games on PC at all, but I know at the end of the day that it just doesn't resonate with me that much, if that makes sense. I mean, I was born a console style gamer, and I'm more used to that. But I do love my PC. But when it comes to actually trying to upgrade and want to buy things, I would necessarily say find your way into just trying to hold on to maybe one or two platforms to game on and build your ecosystem around that. Because what's going on now, a lot of these games that are coming out that like 2027, 2028, I don't think we're going to see that big of a quality of a jump, especially because of what's going on with this RAM shortage. We're probably looking at a situation where a lot of these games are going to be hindered a little bit because we don't have the tools, or these companies may not have the tools to build said game that could be fully fleshed out in the year 2027. And that's why for me, I was kind of worried about actually getting a console for the next generation, because I'm like, I don't know where I'm gonna be in that space as far as gaming. I have a lot of consoles. I have like 30 something consoles, like 30, 31 consoles. Do I? Yes, 31. Do I need to add another one, or should I just primarily play on PC from here on out? I know my son, he's gonna be playing his Nintendo Switch. He's gonna be fine, and whatever other console he wants. But for me, I'm looking side eye to the PS6. I don't know if I should really want to jump at it. It's just I go back and forth with this type of stuff. And the thing about it is I will probably get it at a later date when things cool down, because I just don't know how the PS6 is gonna play out. Like even with the Switch, they made a lot of Nintendo Switches, but at the same time, those Switches were, kind of scarce. I had to go to another state to get that, but with these other prices of like PCs or whatever, and I'm gonna talk about PCs. Even with a PC, I do feel like what's out there now, I'm probably just going to upgrade on that, and I don't try to get the latest and greatest. And I think a lot of people do that anyway. I'm getting to the point where I have a 3900 in this PC. I mean, that's like equivalent to like an i9 9900. It's still a really good, chip. But I think I'm just going to probably move up to like the 79. And I think that right there is probably like the good sweet spot. As far as RAM go, the GDDR5, GDR6, those are the ones that's kind of like in a shortage. I'm going to probably try to find that used if possible, or if I could find it in a bundle with the motherboard. So that's how I'm going to try to get around that once I decide to build a new PC. Or I just might flat out just buy a pre-build that's, twice as powerful as what I got now, or 1.5 powerful, and I'll be good with that. Because like, even though the pricing of games are, kind of, gaming is kind of weird, not the games, but the consoles are kind of weird, you still got to find a way to navigate. And like I said, 1 or 2 platforms, I actually prefer get a 6th or 7th gen console if you don't have one already. Build an ecosystem around that and try to get something more up to date, so you will have the best of both worlds. And the older stuff, let's say like a PlayStation 2, which I have right here, my PS2, that's never going to fail me. That's always going to be there where I can play some great, phenomenal games. I have a PS3 down here. Great, phenomenal games. I'm always 360. Though that 6th, 7th generation is never going to steer you wrong, no matter what type of shortage is going on out there. But I do believe that when you try to get up into the later part of stuff, like the Xbox, the price increase is crazy right now with that. The PlayStation, right now might be a good time to get one, because Black Friday, a lot of these PlayStation 5s are like $100 off. That's a good time to get one, but probably in the next, few months, 6, 7 months, 6, 7, yeah, right. But but around that time, we may have a situation where those prices may go up again, because remember, the PlayStation price did go up, So, but and another thing before I get out of here, I don't know what's going to happen with the Steam, or the Steam box, or the Steam machine. I really want one, because that Steam box is probably going to go in his room, and he's going to be playing like his Geometry Dashes or Golf It. He said he wants to mod it. Okay, there you go. So, right, so he wants to do all that great stuff with that, and I think that'll be a perfect thing for him, because it's not my thing, but I think that'll be something. I don't know if that's going to be a $600, $700, $800 device. Oh my God, $800 device, and that may be something that kind of deter me. But you got to be thinking about stuff like that too. Is it worth the price if you're just wanting something casual to play? I already have a PC, so I'm not necessarily looking for it. But for him, I do want to get that for him. So I don't know. It's just with the RAM shortage, there's a lot going on here. I do feel like you can navigate if you take any of the little bit of advice I have, going through it. Get you a 6th, 7th generation console. You can. I know I did. But you can also get like a 8th generation, like a PS4, or even hell, you can even get an Xbox One. Get anything around that, and you will have a pretty good ecosystem of games to play. if you're trying to get something new, you're probably going to be priced out because some of this RAM is like ridiculously high. I heard it go up to almost 200 to 300%. It's crazy right now. So I will say this, like those are the things you want to, and if you want to go the PC route, find like a pre-built or just get used parts because that'll probably be one of the best ways to do it as well. So I'm gonna get out of here. Hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of y'all evening. Son, you got anything you want to say before I go? What? Come here. What you got to say? Oh my God. Oh my God.
Um,
Say something. Come on. We got some time. Come on.
Christmas is about to come.
Yeah, Christmas is about to come.
But right. Thanksgiving's first.
Yeah, but Thanksgiving is first. That's right. All right. I'm going to get out of here. Y'all take it easy. Y'all be blessed. All right. I'm out. Peace.